All right, well, thank you everyone for coming and joining me for the Winning Local SEO, Getting Your Business Ranked Higher in Local Searches webinar. My name is Vicki James of Standout Results. I'm really excited. We again have an array of the country represented, and I'm excited to have you all here with me. This is the first of 2 webinars I'm offering this month, and if you'd like to learn more about other free webinars, check out the What We Do section and then hit events on our website, stand-out-results.com. Make sure you write your questions and your testimonials in the chat box, and I'll try to get to them throughout the presentation. And in case you were wondering, you will be receiving an email with a link to download a copy of this presentation and the recording. So all of the links I share with you today will be on a PDF document, okay? I just wanted to also let you know that I have a special offer at the end of the presentation for those of you who stick with me to the end. So hopefully that'll entice you to listen all the way through. And today's topic is about getting your business ranked higher on local searches. And the information I'm presenting here today is actually just a very small part of the Total Online Present Group program, which is a program designed to help you improve and systemize your online marketing. We're currently enrolling business owners and marketing professionals in the program, and if you stick with me until the end, I have a special offer designed specifically for you that reduces the registration price and offers up a lot of added bonuses. I do also want to call your attention to today's sponsor, the Janitorial Store, the online destination for successful cleaning business owners. The Janitorial Store is an online resource filled with educational information and training for commercial cleaning business owners. This active community is for those who are serious about building a more profitable and successful business. The site is packed with real-world advice and tips straight from successful cleaning business owners. And the Janitorial Store provides all of the tools and resources needed to achieve the dream of running a successful cleaning business without having to learn it all the hard way on your own. So the Janitorial Store became today's webinar sponsor because they referred the most people who registered to attend. So thank you everyone who is affiliated with the Janitorial Store and Jean Hansen. And if you're interested in becoming our sponsor for the next webinar event, please email me, Vicki, at stand-out-results.com, and I'll send you all the details. All right, on to today's presentation, Winning Local SEO. Oh, let's hit back. There we go. The other thing I did want to point out to you guys too is that we are using the hashtag Winning Local SEO. So if you find anything that you find is a key takeaway, something you want to remember for later, you want to create a community of everybody who's attending this webinar today, make sure that you use this hashtag so that we can all reference it and go forward. So however you like to use social media, through Twitter, through Facebook, through Google+, use this hashtag and help us out. Okay. So search engines have become one of the primary ways that people find local products and services. In fact, there was a study done that shows nearly all consumers, actually 97%, now use online media to shop locally. And this is a study that was done just a couple years ago, so you can only imagine what that study says now. Business owners need to face the reality and learn to master the local search game. Unfortunately, there's no magic formula for making this happen because the fact is getting your local business to show up high in the search results takes some work. You have competition within your industry and there's only so much space available on the first page of search results. So ranking on page 1 is getting really, really tough. And sometimes the logic we use to rank higher isn't always reflected in what we actually find ourselves doing. In addition, the search sites are constantly changing their algorithms, and what worked last year simply doesn't work now, and sometimes will work against you. This is the mystery of search engines. When they launch their new algorithms, they basically give us best practices, but don't tell us all the secrets of how they position businesses in the searches. So it takes a lot of us to go in there, really deep dive, figure out what's working and what's not for our clients, and then share it all with you guys like I am today on a webinar. So we're going to go over a lot of information in the next hour. Don't worry, I'll be offering up ways that you can get a lot of this accomplished automatically. And in addition, there are ways that you can learn even more by becoming part of our Total Online Presence Masters. Today we're going to talk about the 6 areas that you should address to increase your chances of winning in the local search game. And I would recommend that you do it now. Do it now before your competition does. If you work through each section and apply a few action steps each day, you'll gradually accomplish the entire list and put your business on its way to building a strong local search presence. But before we get too far ahead, I thought it would be important for me just to share a little bit about who I am and what I do and why you should even listen to me and stay on this webinar. So I own a business, Standout Results, and I help small businesses focus on the front end of marketing, the part that people tend to skip over because it's really hard. I talk about the marketing strategy, branding, marketing plan, and budgets. So really the foundation of the business, the who you are, what you do, what you stand for, how you do it better than anybody else, and where to spend your time and money that your ideal clients will take notice. As an employee, I've worked for companies that have been locally and nationally focused. The target market has been a B2B and a B2C, and I've worked on creating the core differentiation, product creations that have been copied, or in marketing we like to call it fast followed, by competitors, and helped rebrand products and company websites more than I can count. I've spoken to local small groups, regional retreats, national conferences, and international events. I facilitate local referral groups and virtual mastermind groups, and because I believe you have to invest in yourself and your business if you want your business to grow and achieve the possibilities, I joined the Duct Tape Marketing Network and then worked to achieve the next level status of certified. I've invested in my website by taking it off an almost free platform of WordPress and moved it to HubSpot. I've evaluated how to systemize my business and invested in Infusionsoft. I take testing my message seriously and belong to local referral groups, virtual mastermind groups, and support my community through several Chamber of Commerces. I also invest in my business through my volunteerism as the marketing chair and president-elect of the Rochester Area Business Ethics Foundation and helped raise $115,000 for the local YWCA at their annual fundraising luncheon as the co-chair of the event. I became online marketing certified last year and achieved the title of Total Online Presence Master. And however, I do want to share with you that it wasn't so long ago that I thought social media was stupid and irrelevant. I mean, really, who cared if you had a bagel for breakfast? However, after learning the business applications of all the different mediums that are out there, I now know how to help my clients connect with their customers, and I help them create campaigns that actually convert connections into sales. So enough about me. Let's get on to why you guys are all here. And before we even get down to the nitty-gritty, we really need to talk about marketing as a whole. So what are some of the marketing basics? Most people think of marketing in terms of websites, logos, brochures, press releases. And we really need to be thinking of strategy, branding, and planning before we can even conceive the tactical things that we just identified. Now, branding is the who you are, what you stand for, who you help, and how you do it better than everyone else, expressed in a visual manner through your logo, images, colors, and copy. Strategy is understanding who you are, who you help, how you do it better than everyone else, and the identified goals you want to achieve within your overall business. Planning is understanding how to nurture your prospects into selling themselves. touching each stage of the marketing hourglass, which we're going to talk about in just a couple minutes, and create a researched, specific marketing plan custom designed for your ideal client as to where they find their trusted information. Finally, the implementation stage is where we make marketing a habit rather than an event. You know that oh shit panic when you forget that next week you have a product launch, webinar, networking presentation, whatever it might be? That's the event philosophy, rather than the habit maker that created a marketing calendar with every launch and presentation mapped out. So utilizing your marketing efforts through this formula allows your business to actually grow. Moving forward. All right, so what's the actual definition of marketing? It's actually getting someone who knows you to like and trust you, who then will actually buy from you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the marketing hourglass. And before we do that, we're going to talk about the sales funnel. So for centuries, people have talked about the sales funnel, where you need to get a whole bunch of people who know you, stuff them through, and then hope that at the end, they come out and somebody buys. And yes, you need to get people who know you, and you need to get people who buy from you. But there's actually 3 stages in between that you need to get people to nurture through and move on their own so that they actually feel like they have almost sold themselves rather than being sold to. And so when you start to think about your marketing plan, you need to be thinking about the marketing hourglass and how you can nurture your clients through each of these stages. And you'll notice that each stage has a marketing tactic that goes along with it. So the online SEO that we're going to talk about today, that's really going to help people get to know you. And so that's at the very top of your marketing plan or your marketing hourglass. So before we actually get started into a lot more of the nitty-gritty, I wanted to just go through a few things just to make sure that we're all on the same page for technology. So here's a layout for a search I did in Google because of our sponsor, the Janitorial Store, for home cleaning services in Maple Grove, Minnesota. And you notice that the pay-per-click ads are at the top and the right position on the page. Then there are the organic search results under the PPC, that's the pay-per-click ads on top. The organic search results are listings on search engine pages that appear because of their relevance to the search terms, which means those organic search results are largely due to search engine optimization, or SEO, done on websites. And we'll be talking more about SEO a little later. You'll notice in this search there are 3 organic search results under the PPC ads, and then the map results are shown under that. And if I had a shot of the whole page, you could see the rest of the organic search results are shown under the map results. Sometimes the page will show the map results under the PPC ads and sometimes in the middle of the page. So I want you guys all to be thinking about this. Do you know if you're listed on the first page of Google, Bing, or Yahoo? And are you listed on the first page under the map results? Those are 2 key things that you should be thinking about, because I will guarantee you your competition is thinking about that. The first thing that I want you to do, if you haven't done so already, is to claim your space on your Google Plus local page, your Bing Places page, and your Yahoo local pages. Most have probably already claimed your Google profile, but probably not on Bing and Yahoo. And by the way, Google wants your business to be on Google Plus because they're trying to build up Google Plus. So they've moved the local pages over to there. So you have to create your Google Plus page to make sure that you're listed on the Google Maps section. Some of you may have found your business on the map and think that you're already there, but it hasn't been claimed. All right, so you need to make sure you go into there and claim your pages. And now, even though you might have claimed your Google location page, you might not have added your company information, or maybe you have just very minimal information. And I'll be giving you some tips on how to add more information to that just a little bit. So if you have not yet claimed your location, go ahead and do that. That should be your number one. And then Google will either text you, call you, or mail you a postcard with some code that you have to enter online to prove that you're the owner of the business. So this is like I'm not even going to pretend like I can say it. This is the number one thing that you need to do. Okay, so once you've claimed these local search profiles, you then have the ability to add in all sorts of information about your business. You'll be able to add the categories of business you fall under, a complete description of your services, the communities that you serve, the keywords that might be used to find your business hours, graphics, videos, links to your website, and social media pages, and so on. And for those of you who have already claimed your profiles, I would recommend you go back and look at it and make sure you add in as much information as you can about your business. Because all of this add-ons up to people finding your page on the map. But it's the search engines that decide which order to put everyone in. All right. The other feature on these local site profiles is the rate and review feature. Google doesn't really talk about it, but there's plenty of data to support the fact that having good reviews can help your placement in the list of local businesses. And you want to be on the first page of the map results because the chances of being seen on the second page are very low. And most people only look at the first page. I know I only look at the first page unless I really can't find what I'm looking for. I might go to the second, maybe go to the third. After that, I don't look at anything. So try and encourage your clients to write reviews for your service. And the best time to do this is when they give you a testimonial. So ask them to do one more step and post it on your Google Places page. They also have to make sure that they have their own Google account. So you might even have to show them how to do it. But it's really an important thing that you build up your reviews with Google. So if you can offer up, show them how to do it, and that can be an added benefit if they're also a local company as well. So here's a search I did for residential cleaning services in Milwaukee. And you'll notice that Maid Brigade is on the first page on the map results. And they have 13 Google reviews. So the rest of the sites have either no reviews or just one or two. Now, some of you may do a search like this and find that some sites that have more reviews are in a lower position. So positioning is not completely based on the number of reviews you have, but it does help. And as long as you're on the first page of the results, you are doing good. All right, so on the right side is the Maid Brigade profile. And you can see that they have their address and contact information listed, as well as listings of additional reviews on sites like Insider's Page, JudysBook.com, ServiceMagic, and YellowBot.com. So let's talk about review sites and how that can help your positioning. The next step that you need to do is to claim your space on these review sites if you haven't done so yet. Reviews can carry a lot of weight, both with search engines and potential customers. So you have to get serious about this aspect of local search because it's not going to go away. I will say that the review sites tend to have a larger impact on B2C companies like residential cleaning services versus the B2B companies like commercial cleaning services. But you still need to claim your space and monitor the sites. And I'm sure that you guys have gone on here for other businesses. A lot of times restaurants, that's a really big one, right? Do I want to go to this particular restaurant or this particular hotel? So, in that particular industry, the review sites have been going on for a long time. Now it's starting to permeate into a lot of other sites or industries. So you really need to make sure that you're on here and that you're paying attention to what's going on. The really most important thing that needs to happen as well once you've claimed your site is that you're monitoring them. So if somebody actually puts up a negative response, you need to make sure that you're responding immediately, like within that day if possible, so that you can fix any problem. Because if that sits there too long without you responding, then people are going to start to say, well, they don't really care. And if they don't really care, then I don't want to give them their business. So the next thing that we need to do is clean up your NAP. All right, so NAP is your name, address, and phone number. When the search engine spiders see this information, it clearly tells that your business is local. But keep in mind that if your business has been around for a while, there's a good chance some of your online address and phone data could be wrong. And actually, most of the time when I do research for my clients, 75% of their online profiles are wrong. It's huge. And so I really, really recommend that you guys go check it out. If you didn't do it before we started the webinar, follow this link. You can actually see for over 50 plus profile sites if your business is listed accurately. And then you can either go onto each of those sites and clean them up and add in more information about your business, such as bios and pictures and products and calendar events, or you can subscribe to our monthly service and we'll take care of that for you. And it actually takes effect within 24 to 48 hours. So if that's something that you want to get off your plate, definitely go ahead and check that out. All right, so the fourth thing that you need to do is make your web pages local friendly. And the first step is to add local geographic content. So go through your pages on your website and make sure you have your address and phone number on every single page. You never know how people are going to land on your site, and it's not always through the home page. And especially as you start to add more content, then you're going to have people landing in through different content leading pages. So you want to make sure that all of your pages have your contact information on them. It also helps the search engines as they spider your pages as well. And you also want to be thinking about adding maps or directions to your business on your site, as well as adding cities and suburbs that you serve. You can also create local landing pages. So this works well for people in larger metropolitan areas. You can actually create pages for each of those local cities that you serve. Just make sure that the content you put on these pages is relevant, okay? Don't simply clone each page and just change the city name. Google hates it when they see copy the same time on several pages, okay? So you'll actually get dinged. So make sure you just take that copy, repurpose it in a way, rearrange it a little bit, and then move forward. And maybe on these particular pages, you could also include customer testimonials from that particular community, and then have a link to those pages using that city name. So something that you can do to make your page a lot more local friendly. Make sure that you're putting in all of the different suburbs that you service, because people think in that mindset. They don't just think of Rochester in general if they happen to live in Henrietta. So make sure that you're doing that. One area that some people neglect are internal links within your site and links back to your site. So when you talk about internal links, instead of having a link to carpet cleaning on a page, you could actually add text that says Lincoln, Nebraska carpet cleaning, and you link up that text to the web page within your site. Or in the examples you see here, they've got house cleaning services linked up to that page on their website, and they have house cleaning estimates linked up onto their quote page. And you never want to link up text like click here, because that doesn't help the search engines understand what that page is about. So when linking up a page to text within your site, make sure you're using keywords in that link. So I just want to put one little caveat there, because I do want to share the fact that if you're thinking about SEO and you're thinking about links, definitely you want to be using keywords. If you're thinking about a call to action button, though, then you want to make sure that you have a verb or action statement, such as click here, grab now, download this ebook, something like that. But that's for a different function within your site, and you actually need to have the two going on together, because the internal links with the keywords, that has to do with SEO, and the call to action has to do with the user experience on your website. So links also apply to external links, or people linking to your site. Don't just have them link to your website like abccleaning.com. Instead, have them create text, such as ABC Cleaning, Lincoln's premier commercial cleaning company. That not only tells the prospect who you are and what you do, but it tells the search engines exactly what you do and where you're located. They're much more likely to rank you higher when they see your website linked to keywords and a location. So this example is a little hard to read, but you can see that they didn't link up the website URL, but they linked up the text in front of the URL. So you can see the first one there says Northwest Indiana Janitorial Service, Michigan City Office Cleaning. The next one says House Cleaning Maid Service, Flower Mound, Louisville. So again, you see that they're linking up to specific words rather than the actual website address. You might want to think about becoming a community resource. It's a great way to add local content to your website. So you could add a calendar of events of things happening in your community, or you could add a list of local networking events if you're a commercial cleaner. One option is to make this a separate page on your site. It doesn't have to necessarily relate to your core business, but it does need to relate to your community or target market. In some cases, just writing blog posts about what's going on in your town can actually help with local search. The net effect is that you'll improve local search results by creating content that offers value to local readers, and this is just the kind of information that search engines absolutely love. And the fifth thing that I want you guys to be thinking about are keywords and titles and descriptions. So this is one of the first things I notice when I go to people's sites. So many businesses are missing the important piece of local search puzzle. You have to get a way to your website, you have a way to get to your website and edit your titles and descriptions. And if you don't know how to do this, then reach out to your webmaster, okay, and they can help you out with this. So notice in the first screenshot that their homepage just says home. Well, what does home tell the search engines about that business? Absolutely nothing. Just last week, I actually had a client who told me his organic search ranking had dropped off the first page. Now, when I went to his site, I noticed that the title on his homepage said Commercial Cleaning and Cleaning Services, along with his city and state. Now, he does do some commercial cleaning, but his core business is residential cleaning, and the word maid is in his business name. So I suggested he change the title to something that makes more sense for a residential cleaning company using the right keywords. He made that change, and a week later emailed me to let me know that he's back on the first page for organic results. Now, I can't guarantee that making just one little change like that will make such a big difference, but for him, that was the only change he needed to make during that week. And we're going to talk about this in a little bit further in the webinar, but I do want to just point out, because we're talking about it, that you can only use between 10 to 70 characters here. And if you are somebody like me who's got anywhere between 10 to 20 tabs open, you want to try to keep that as concise as possible, otherwise it starts to get really convoluted. You'll notice that in this business it has a title of Orlando, Florida Commercial Cleaning and Janitorial Services, which is a good title. You'll notice that in the lower graphic that title is what you see in the search results. And below that title is the description. And you want to make sure that you add a good description to your website tags as well. Again, using keywords and location. You don't actually see this description on your website, but it's what shows in the background. And I'm going to show you a little back-end website stuff in a little bit. But that's called your meta tag description, and you have about 70 to 160 characters. So it's really important to be short, concise, and to the point, but it also needs to be different for each of your pages too. The sixth thing we're going to talk about is your SEO, or search engine optimization. Now, the titles and descriptions we just talked about is actually part of your SEO, but I wanted to talk about them separately, as that's the behind-the-scenes type of SEO. And what I want to talk about with the analogy of the SEO cupcake has to do with your website content. All right, so just like the cupcake wrapper, content is the foundation. But you have to reinforce the foundation with your keywords. And like the ingredients that make up the cupcake, keywords are the ingredients that make up the content. Next, if you want to be found, and to be found more often, you need links. You need more links to your website, the better. Just like the cupcake gets more tasty with the frosting. All right, and the cherry on top makes the whole thing come together. This is the social aspect of sharing your content on social media. These sites are the driver that points everything back to your site and helps your website to be found. Using the cupcake example helps you to understand the relationship between these elements in the hierarchy. So this explains how how search engine optimization all starts with content. So your content is developed with your keywords, and then you have the links going back to your site, and you top it off with your social media strategy. So let's talk about website content. When you have a website, you can't just let it sit there. You have to keep it fresh to keep the search engines coming back. So here's how it actually works with the search engines. When a search engine visits your site, it scrolls through and indexes your pages. Then it comes back in maybe a week or so to see if anything's changed. If nothing's changed, it will come back in a couple weeks. If nothing's changed in 2 weeks, it probably won't come back again for a month, and so on and so forth. So then that's how you end up losing and falling farther and farther behind, because you have to think about the search engines actually have a very short attention span. So if you're not telling them anything new, they're just ignoring you. So if you aren't updating your website on a regular basis, the search engines won't visit and index your site, and the greater the chance that your website will continue to decline in your rankings. So creating content is very important for your search engine results. Now, this is the part that scares people, because the thought of writing content is really overwhelming. But content doesn't have to mean just articles. There are all kinds of different types of content that you can create. And here's a list right here. So we talked about blog posts. You could do tips and tricks, how-tos. You can talk about industry news, what kind of events are going on, what kind of interesting facts will your target market find interesting, what's going on with product reviews. Do you have any sales or promotions happening? What's happening with your photos and videos? Contests, resources, company news, testimonials, case studies. I mean, it can go on and on and on. You just have to really think outside the box, okay? Now, content creation is actually a webinar in itself, so I can't go into too much detail about it today, but I do want to talk about how to approach the content when it comes to thinking about how people will find your website. Because when you use keyword phrases to create the content, that is how people will actually connect and find your content when they're searching online. So when you start writing articles or blog posts, be sure to keep in mind your keywords that your target market will be searching for, because this is how they're going to find you. So here's some examples. Right? So if you wrote an article and said, how to reduce exposure to the flu, well, you might actually get a lot of people who are interested in medical, who's trying to go to the doctor, who might be sick, but they're not actually trying to find commercial cleaning services or have higher employee retention, right? So if you changed it to how your commercial cleaning service can reduce your employees' exposure to the flu, now that might be something that an HR person might be looking for, or CEO might be looking for. Again, the office phone may be making you sick. Well, people might be looking up the word phone, all right, office phone. So now all of a sudden you're talking about, office phones rather than, your cleaning company. So if you change that to the office phone may be making you sick, what your cleaning company can do to improve office hygiene. Well, now that's something that an employee might find interesting, and then read it and then share it with their superiors, so then they can actually help to increase and start to connect you with new clients. So you may also want to include your location in some of your blog posts. For example, your office phone may be making you sick, what your Omaha cleaning company can do to improve office hygiene. And don't say what we can do to improve office hygiene, right? So we just talked about that. You're not using keywords in that example. You need to make sure that keywords are there. And so what these particular keywords that we're talking about, these are actually considered long-tail keyword phrases. And more people are using these longer phrases when searching for answers online. So you want to be thinking about the type of information people may be searching for locally, so you can provide them with the answers. This will also help you position you as an expert in your field. So another bad example would be, is this killing your business? Well, this title creates curiosity, but it doesn't do anything for your search results. What would be better would be, is poor commercial office cleaning killing your business? Now, this is something that might resonate with your ideal clients and get them to click through to your site. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of stuff today, and I wanted to give you guys some additional resources so that you can go on and continue to move forward in your online marketing strategy. So the first one is Google Webmaster Tools, all right? And you can go in there and you can start to see some of the things that are happening with your website. The next one, if you've got a WordPress website, you can use Yoast SEO, and that's a plugin. It does cost a little bit of money, but I highly recommend that you use that if you're on WordPress. And we're going to go through some examples in a couple of minutes on how Yoast really helps you become SEO savvy. There's also the Google Keyword Tool. So this helps you do some research to see what terms are actually winnable. And so the fact that you could say commercial cleaning in every single one of your posts and all of your content, but the problem is that everybody across the country are also using the keyword commercial cleaning. So it's really hard to win that word. However, if you start to long tail it, like we've just been talking about, then you can start to see, can I win that word? So commercial cleaning, accounting firms, Omaha, Nebraska. Now, I bet you definitely can win that word, right? So using the keyword planner will definitely help you determine if the keywords that you're using are something that's actually going to gain traction for you. And then the last part is checking out the local online presence and checking out all of your profiles that I've talked about to you guys already. I've got a program that if you don't want to update all your profiles on your own, I can do it. It's just a monthly fee, and they're updated within 24 to 48 hours, and everything is updated. We also include profiles and pictures, products and or menus if you happen to be in the food industry, and so it really creates mini websites and over 50 plus different sites. All right, so if you ended up having any kind of SEO back end on your website, this happens to be the WordPress Yoast one, I just wanted to go through a few things and show you what that looks like. So if you see the snippet preview, that's what people see when they go to do a search. All right, so you see this particular heading, video, your core difference, do you know what your business ... And the ... means is that the title is too long for the snippet. So your title should only be about 70 characters. So it's really important, you're going to hear me say this a couple times, to be concise. Use your keywords and be concise. All right, the next thing that comes down is that you can see the URL that they used. And you see that it says www.marketing-systems-by-design.com/2008/03/video-core-difference-no-makes-business-unique. And the reason why you do that, although it's cumbersome to say out loud, you do this for your SEO, okay? So it's really important that when you're naming your pages that you're very specific and you're using keywords, because this is also going to help you get found on SEO and search spiders. The last portion is your meta description, okay? And so you have about 140 characters for your, 140 words for your meta description. So again, you need to make sure that you are concise on what you're saying, that you are using your long tail keywords, and that it's something that's going to pull the reader in to actually click and go to your site. So the next part down is you see the focus keyword. So this particular client said, well, I want to use the focus keyword of core difference. And by using a back-end SEO such as Yoast, it then helps and reviews everything and says, okay, you've got core difference in your article heading. You've got it in your title, your page title, your page URL, your content, and your meta description. All right, you've got the trifecta. You're good to go. You've accomplished what you tried to. And at the bottom, you see here, it's telling the client, hey, listen, your heading is too long. It can only be limited to 70 characters, and you've got 35 characters too much. What happens there is then you have to go back through and say, okay, how can I change this up, still keep relevant keywords in here, but still it makes sense to the reader. Then the other things that a back-end SEO program will do is it'll, sort of rank you and tell you what you're doing right and tell you some suggestions on what to do better. So that first one where it says no images appear on this page, consider adding some as appropriate. So two things here. Google Spider loves images, so you get like a plus mark for that, for having an image. However, it can't read the image. It doesn't know what the image is. So what you need to do is make sure that you have a keyword heavy description on the back end of that back end of the image, okay? So that way you actually almost have like a plus plus with the Google Spider, and now you're actually moving forward. Now we're not going to go through all of these, but I do want to just point out a couple. Almost halfway down it says no outboard links appear in this page. Consider adding some as appropriate. We talked about that, the fact that having links within your content is really important, and that is how you're going to have better SEO coverage. The keyword phrase appears in the URL of this page. That was a green light. Another green light was the keyword appears in the first paragraph of the copy. The meta description is specified and it's got keywords. However, it is also asking you, how does it compare to your competition? And can it be any more appealing? So I know you only have 100, and I think it's 170 words, right? But how do you make it more appealing so that your prospects will click on your content rather than your competitors' content? And the other thing I wanted to point out too is that it's also saying, hey, listen, you've got 439 words contained in the body copy. That's great, because we want to have at least 300 words. And if you guys can keep your posts to at least 300 words, that's wonderful. When Google launched their last algorithm, they were saying they really liked anywhere between 800 to 1,000 words. Don't freak out on me. What I tell my clients is that, it doesn't have to be every time you make a blog post that it's 800 to 1,000 words, but if you do it once a month, once every 6 weeks, that'll help you stay up in the rankings. So hopefully this has given you several ideas to think about when it comes to being found on local searches. And I wanted to, again, thank thejanitorialstore.com for being our sponsor. They have a great free offer for their book, Bidding and Estimating for Cleaning Companies. So make sure you guys check that out. And as promised, I wanted to thank you all for sticking with me until the end. And because of that gratitude, I want to share how we can continue to work together. So if you could go log on to stand-out-results.com/online-group-reg-bonus, and that's reg, R-E-G, like registration, with me, and I'm going to do that as well. Let's see here. I always get a little nervous at this part of trying to get off of the actual PowerPoint presentation, because I always want to make sure that you guys are where I am. Okay, so if you guys have all logged on here, you can start to see this with me, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. But again, I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. I actually can see who's still here, and we have 99% of the people still here, so thank you so much. After going through this whole presentation, you might be thinking, wow, that was a lot of information, but I don't know how to create an online marketing strategy to dominate my industry. What's the formula for success? How do I put this in a play-by-play formula? Or you might be thinking, I don't understand the technical aspect of the internet. Like, I don't know, the internet. It's pretty scary to me. Or how do I get people to listen to me? How do I develop my sales pipeline so I'm not talking to an empty room? Which platforms are best for me? There are so many ways to reach out to my target market. How do I determine which one makes the most sense for me and my ideal client? Or simply, what do I do now? And if you're ready to take back sales from your competitors through creating a research strategic plan that actually works, I'm going to give you an unbelievable offer right now. I'm offering up 5 virtual live group sessions that are recorded so you can listen when you have time within your business, although I would recommend attending live so you can take advantage of the Q&A sessions. And since you've stuck with me until the end, you'll be the first to attend this newly revamped program that I'm creating. But the highlight of this is that you get to create the program. So there's seven different modules that we can review, but I wanted to make it custom to the group members who joined and wanted to let you decide what was the most important to your business success. So if you sign up today, you actually get to vote which 5 are your need-to-know topics. And in addition to my appreciation for you guys attending this seminar and hanging out with me for so long, I'm offering up an additional bonus of a half-hour one-on-one coaching session with me at any stage within the program to review your online strategy. However, my time is limited, so I'm only offering this one-on-one session to you right now. This bonus won't be available after tomorrow at noon, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, I usually get 3 questions or objections when I offer up a group program. I don't know how to get started. I don't understand the technical aspect. I'm too busy, or it's bad timing. So not knowing how to get started is fine. You didn't get into business to be a social media maven. You got into business to share your business coaching knowledge, your financial advisory experience, your brokerage service, whatever it might be. But that doesn't mean you can't learn. It just means you need a little help along the way. So gaining an understanding of the internet is actually part of the overall program. We'll help you through all the aspects listed within the program. And really, wouldn't it be nicer to have someone guiding you along the way rather than having to try to learn how to do it all on your own? I enjoy having somebody hold my hand. And as for not having enough time, well, this to me isn't the weakest response I get. If you're too busy or you say the timing's bad, then you're really not ready to win the local SEO and stop giving your prospects to your competitors. Because if you were, you wouldn't think twice on how to leverage your business through selling to masses rather than trading dollars for hours. So let's put it this way. What would one new client be worth to you? So I'll be launching this program early Friday morning at the full package price of $19.77. And that's $1,977. And it's a valuable price point, and I've had people pay for the previous versions for this package. But because you guys have already invested your time into this webinar, I'm offering a fast action scholarship to you right now at $497. So do you think a new client is worth an investment of $497? I'm willing to bet in your business, a new client will be bringing in more than the fast action scholarship investment of the $497. However, if you aren't ready, and I don't want to work with businesses who aren't ready, then you always have the option to purchase the recordings at a later date at the full price of $1,977. So knowing that it's totally worth it at full price, but why not take advantage of it now? In addition, because I feel so strongly about you attending to fully create your online marketing strategy with your program, Total Online Presence, so you can dominate your space on the internet, I'm also offering up a payment plan for the next 19 hours. So if the $497 all at one time is too much, you can pay in 3 payments of $186 for a total of $558. Okay, so to recap, you'll have 5 live virtual classes going deep dive on how to put a total online marketing presence strategy together, including the secrets in creating an engaged email list, how to stop wasting time on social media, increase your impact of online ads, and true helpful knowledge to learn what is and what isn't working on your website. Each session is recorded for your convenience. So if you can't make the meeting on time, you can listen anytime that makes sense for you. There's a bonus of a free 1/2 hour one-on-one coaching session with me during the program to review whatever you need. and the opportunity to custom build this program to what you want to learn for your business growth. In addition, if you need to make this happen for your business, we're offering that payment plan I talked about before at $186 for 3 payments, but I do want to remind you that that's ending at 9 a.m. tomorrow. If you guys have any questions about the program, please reach out to me by email. My email is vicki@stand-out-results.com, and I'll respond right away. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. Remember, the Fast Action Scholarship ends tomorrow. It was great spending time with you, and I look forward to seeing you on my next call for the Total Online Presence Group program. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.